Hi everyone, Clark here. Welcome to another developer update. So time flies fast, and we've been really busy during the last couple months because we were preparing the build and trying to make the best possible for the game. And in a couple days from the Steam Next Fest starting June 19, you guys will be able to try out the latest demo we're providing to the players. And in this demo, you will be able to play the part of the PvE, both solo and team, and as well as the PvP mode. So today, I'd like to talk about more on how do we design the PvE and the PvP game, and how can we differentiate our experience compared to other games. So for PvE, the most important thing for me and for the team here is how can we ensure the dynamic for the firefight and a replayability. How can we really create a space for all of you to experiment your own combination of mods and functions, and how can you really express your own way of playing the game. So when we're designing the PvE, I think from the mod design for runners and the mod design for sync nanos, as well as the gun tech weapons, all those three things combined together that we're creating those fun moments. At the beginning of each match, you might feel that it's not so powerful, right? And that's okay. But by working towards eliminating nanos and collecting loots, you will be able to power up your character, your runner, and your sync nano at the same time. So you will be able to reach a very peak level for the later time of the run. And this is the power fantasy we want to give to the player. And we want you to feel that you are getting more and more powerful for each run. And sometimes you power up to different directions. So I think that is the most interesting aspect of the PvE. The boss design is also another key part when we're designing all the PvE gameplay. Because every boss have to give you some very new challenges and different scenarios. And sometimes they really push you to do something you don't really do. For example, reviver boss that really you have to time your jump at a certain point. And for the flamer boss at the last stage, it's like a cat and mouse, right? Is he catching you or you're trying to catch him? That's a really interesting scenario. So every boss have to offer something new and have to give players the opportunity to test their build as well as their survival skill set. So for new player, when we really join the game, the most fundamental thing that you need to remember is look for those exchange machines. When with the gathered media that during the run, spend them as much as you can, because every time you go to exchange, you will be able to get a new mod that somehow make your character and your nano more powerful. And just remember this, you will be able to really enjoy the power fantasy that we provide in Synced. And for PvP, is a entirely different story. And there's some history on how we build this game. At the beginning, the team is very tiny. We're only having something like 30 people. And with this said, really not much that we can do in terms of the scope of the game. So we were focusing on PvP for a long time. And the reason for that is, PvP games tend to, win based on the rule set. Like if you really have a really good rule, let's say Battle Royale, right? You don't really need to have a tons of content and ability to make it fun, because the mode is fun by itself. But we don't want to do a Battle Royale per se. We wanted to really see what fits the world and what can make our own experience shine. So when we're building this Nerva Run game mode, and some of you, I'm sure you played the early version, you see that we were iterating a lot, like from the size of the map to how many players are in one round and what is the rule to win the game. But still, it feels like a Battle Royale. It's not entirely a bad thing, but however, we still want to see what is our own game mode. And later on, the design start have some iterations. Say, what? Let's focus on points. The team with the most points gonna win, and the points in our game is simply Nerva. By doing all the activities, eliminating rivals, killing those wild nanos and doing whatever events we offered, you will be able to gather a lot of Nerva. So by this point system, it started to open another door for us, because the game is not entirely about eliminating your rival anymore. Sometimes it's about strategy. Sometimes it's about what is my choice, and maybe doing another activity could also win me more Nerva compared to the main objective. And this was a tipping point that we feel that, okay, this rule feels unique, and we started from there. And from the last year also, we're still trying to make this rule more intact with all the other different mechanics. For example, we were saying, you know what, the map might be too big. For so many players in the same round, might not be fun. The pacing wasn't right. So we shrink the size of the maps, and we also start limiting how many teams we're gonna have in the PvP. And another thing I have to mention is, Synced is really about your companion nano, right? It's about your Sync nano and how the nano can work for you in this PvP environment. And you should be able to see that we have actually more mods available for you to choose, in the PvP environment, and then every one of them play a very critical tactical rule that can help you win the game. And in this case, for example, Seer was one that we've been iterating a whole lot, and sometimes that sometimes we see the Seer is too powerful, or sometimes it's kind of useless. And those kind of ongoing tweakings that we've been doing, and we're trying to find the sweet spot that every nano can help you to win the game. And don't forget, we also have the nano leap this time. So nano leap in PvP changed everything. So all those things combined together, we wanted to deliver not only a brand new rule set of the mode itself, but our core gameplay with companion nano working with you together and give a brand new experience to the players. And hopefully players gonna love it, and we're gonna still improving the mode in the future. So we want most of the players can really find their fun in the game, in different game modes, and can have the taste of this unique gameplay experience that we're offering in Synced. Yeah, so that was a lot of information, and hopefully you enjoyed this episode, and but most importantly, enjoy the game. So on that, don't forget to try out our demo on June 19 with the Steam Next Fest event. So yeah, have fun and tell us what you think, and we together are gonna make this game better and better in the future. All right, so stay tuned. Until next time.